Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision, Listen Vision. Listen Vision, Listen Vision.
Good evening and welcome to the Indie Voice Show, where artists can listen, learn, and grow with knowledge empowering success. And now, here is your host, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, Miss Wendy Hicks.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hello, 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 and welcome to Indie Voice. I hope you all are ready for the holidays. I know I am not. I tell you, I have to admit, like, right up to the last few minutes, I'm at the outlet mall trying to get some stuff in. Today was my first official physical day of shopping. Try to do some things online, but, I'd like to welcome my co-hosts. We've got Tempest, Storm. We got Tempest, Storm, Thomas, but we're going to go with Storm.
Storm.
Welcome, Storm.
Thank you for having me, Wendy.
Well,
I appreciate the invite to come on the show.
Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to learning more about you and your upcoming project and talk about your upcoming performance at Blues Alley. Super excited about that.
Absolutely. Super excited about that. I am just stoked.
Shout out to Kevin for introducing us, for hooking us up.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Kojo.
Yes. So, again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching and joining us week after week on the Indie Voice Show. This is a show that seeks to motivate, inspire, empower artists or just folks that are, looking to live in their dream and still, thinking that maybe it's, too late or, they don't have the right look or, all these different obstacles that kind of stifle people from moving forward. And just to know that, with proper resources and information, you can do whatever it is in life you set yourself out to do.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you guys joining us. And again, welcome. Now, we're going to talk about, we've got a few things to talk about today. One, we'll talk about your transition into being a solo artist because you have been working with Belladonna for many years.
Yes, it's been actually 9 years.
Wow.
9 years.
Seems like it's only been, what, a few, right? 1 year, right?
It's like, where did the time go? It just flew by. Mm-hmm. But it's been a wonderful experience.
Yes, so we're going to definitely talk about that. And we'll talk more once we get a little further into the interview.
Okay.
But we're going to go back. I haven't done this in quite some time. Okay. I am an affiliate of the Indie Bible, which is a a resource for independent artists. There are lots of articles, that has like marketing tips, or if you want to know where to go to have your project blogged. Let's say you want someone to critique it and blog it. It's a way to get yourself out there. If you are looking for a promoter in different areas in the world, it's a directory that provides that information. It's a one-stop shop kind of resource that will definitely benefit independent artists. So from time to time, I try to go through and I pick out certain articles. And again, the articles, they have different subject areas. Again, one might be marketing. So now that you've finished your project, how do I market it? Or, how do I effectively utilize social media? So it's all different types. And so today I want to go into an area that is not very familiar to me, so we'll be learning this together.
Okay.
And it may be familiar to you, but we'll see.
Okay.
So the title of the article is 5 Ways to Make More Sync Money from Your Music. And with sync money, it's how you monetize like through YouTube, and how you can have your music in like movie scores, or or branding, or different like big company corporations, or even smaller corporations that are willing to use your music with their marketing, and you can get money from that. So the article, it's by Chris Robley, and this was done in 2017. And it says that, and I'm not going to read it word for word, I'll post this on the Facebook page, but it says that CD Baby has paid $1.2 million in sync licensing revenue to independent artists. And going through, it says that, so apps like JumpCam and Animoto allows users to add audio to their videos, audio networks that play music in stores and malls, indie films, and many other platforms where people want to add music to enhance the experience for their users. So it says that, so let me scroll down. There are 5 ways to encourage your fans to use your music. So 1, it says, let people know that they can license your music. There's a source here called friendlymusic.com to affordably license great indie music for their videos. Be sure to mention this option on your website, via social media, and in your email newsletter. 2nd, it says, make sure your fans know that they can use your song for their wedding videos, family reunion videos, company or school projects, vacation slideshows, etc. Your songs are already in heavy rotation in these people's in their lives, which is interesting because, we as indie artists, we sing or we pass along music for free, it's like, but to think about, actually incorporating it into a memory and being able to monetize from it, it's pretty interesting.
That's very interesting.
Something worth looking into.
I know I've known some people who have experienced it, but I have yet to experience that. That's awesome that is available.
Something to think about.
Yes.
Says here 3, host a video contest and ask your fans to create music videos for their favorite songs. Whether it's footage of a dance party, a stop motion animation, or a bunch of kids lip syncing, these kids' videos can add up to serious ad revenue from YouTube. Now that I've seen. Have you? I know it went viral, but there was a little girl, I think, or a little boy, I can't remember, but it was a child that was lip syncing to one of John Legend's songs, and I think it actually got to John Legend, but it was just a way to kind of to draw people in and, get people, hyped and excited, and it could possibly go viral. People love children.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they do.
So just think if you had, a kid to lip sync to one of your songs and be like, oh.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
Let's see what else. Oh, 4, create and upload videos for all your songs. Even if they're just simple album art videos, YouTube has become the #1 preferred listening platform for younger music fans. Make it easy for them to hear your music. The more songs you make available, the more opportunities you have to earn sync revenue. And 5, sign up your entire back catalog for CD Baby's sync licensing program, because you never know which of your songs might be perfect for some content producer's needs. So those are just some ideas or suggestions on how you can move forward and getting your music, monetizing your music even more.
thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that's very, very interesting.
It is.
I'm sure some of those tools will be useful for me in the future.
Yes, yes. So we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll hear more about who you are, and then we'll get into the interview and get a chance to see a quick video clip of you doing your thing.
Awesome.
Hopefully next time you come back, we'll have like a little mini band perform and see you do something live.
Yes, I'll do that next time.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You know, we're behind the scenes trying to set some stuff up here, having technical difficulties, but you know, we're going to make it through anyway.
Yep.
Can I just say, I've already said happy holidays to everybody, but can I just say, for those that don't know, that haven't heard, that tomorrow is my birthday. I'm so excited.
Woo! Happy birthday, Wendy.
Thank you. I didn't have time to stop and get a cake or some cupcakes or something, but not that I really need it. But
you got to have cake for your birthday.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And, you know, once you cross that 50 threshold, every birthday becomes even that much more special.
50 looks fabulous on you.
Thank you very much. I'll be 52 in a few hours.
Are wearing it well.
Thank you. Thank you. Tell me more. So, oh my goodness. But anyway, again, thank you guys for coming back. Now, I'm going to do a quick bio read because I don't want to miss anything. And then we will elaborate more on from this. And then we'll take it to answering some questions. Now, we do have the number posted on the bottom of the screen. For those of you that are watching, hello, what is this? Adeboyo? Day, okay.
Yeah, he's going to be featured on the Storm Unleashed project.
Okay, we got Smooth watching. Hey, Bring Core Entertainment in the house. So yes, We're going to do this quick bio read. All right. So Tempest Storm Thomas, multi-talented, versatile musician who currently serves as the bassist for Washington, D.C.'s dynamic premier all-female band, Belladonna. Hello, Belladonna that's watching. They've traveled nationally and backed artists such as Erykah Badu, Melanie Fiona, Chrisette Michele, Estelle, Vivian Green, MC Light, Chico DeBarge, and a host of other national recording artists. So for 9 years, she served as the bassist, vocalist, musical director, and assistant manager for the Gospel Persuaders, and consistently gave impressive, riveting performances in a number of local venues, including the Hamilton Live and Bethesda Blues and Jazz. One of the major highlights from performing with this ensemble was being honored to perform at the White House back in 2014. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yes, it was very,
Did you
very-
actually get to meet the president?
No. No, we just got to perform for the tourists, but it was still a wonderful experience. We did a Christmas program.
Yes.
And it was amazing.
I
so
bet.
It's such an honor to be there. So,
Oh, my gracious.
yeah. President Obama was in Hawaii. I think he spent that particular Christmas in Hawaii, so he wasn't there. But it was still an honor just to be in the White House. to perform there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, see, I had to stop mid-bio read. That's very impressive. So Storm is also a dynamic, soulful vocalist and has a strong passion for music that has enabled her to have a vigorous musical journey. She began her musical journey by playing bass and singing in local churches with her dad's gospel quartet singing group at the tender age of 9. That invaluable experience afforded her the opportunity to consistently perform and to give heartfelt, impressive stage performances. She has a passion for music, and it shows during her amazing, soulful performances. Okay, now, in January 2017, she launched her new musical project entitled The Storm Unleashed Project, and this project allows her to fully express her artistic statement and to share all of her musical gifts without limits. It is a dynamic musical collaboration of DMV's finest homegrown diverse musical talent. This multifaceted project caters to several music genres, including smooth jazz, R&B, funk, and soul. This vision was formed to allow her to unleash all of her phenomenal musical talent and to captivate her audience with her dynamic stage performance. Whew, that's quite a bit. Wow. Okay, so let's talk first about where the nickname Storm came from.
Wow. Well, Storm is actually my real middle name.
Oh, okay.
It is on my driver's license. So a lot of people, when I first started performing, they thought it was a made-up stage name.
Yes.
So I decided when I started doing music that I wanted to have a different identity, something that kind of represented just a new, I was just embarking on a new chapter, and I wanted to identify myself differently. So Storm is what I came up with, and I've been using it ever since.
I like that.
Thank you.
I really like that. I think it's very catchy.
Thank
so,
you.
So mom and dad knew what they were doing when they...
Apparently, I got picked on a lot in school because of that name. And, but as I've, matured, I realized that I can appreciate being different. And, I enjoy it. So now everybody calls me Storm, and that's my preference. But a lot of people, when I initially came on the music circuit, they say, you should have just, used your name as Tempest because that's hot, whatever. And I'm like, it is, but I've been using that name for a number of years.
Yeah.
Just wanted something different.
Yes. And I really like it. When I was younger, I wanted a nickname. And it's interesting because someone that my mom dated many, many years ago, I told him I wanted a nickname. Because my name is Wendy, he said, what about Stormy?
I love it.
So, and I haven't seen him in many, many, many years, but when the last time I saw him, he would still say Stormy, but he's the only person that would call me that. But that's pretty cool.
That nickname, Stormy.
Yes. So now, as far as your the Storm Unleashed, so your bio says that you collaborated with some of DMV's artists.
Yes,
Tell us about
I
that.
have some amazing, phenomenal musicians and singers that are going to be performing with me at Blues Alley. Again, as the bio reads, The Storm Unleashed is a musical collaboration consisting of myself and some amazing, phenomenal musicians. All of them have backed national artists. All of them are very well respected. They were handpicked because they're very creative and very, very talented musicians for this particular project. So I actually want to name them if that's okay.
Yes, please do.
Kevin Levi is my musical director. Sean Geeson is a phenomenal bassist. He will be performing with me. Keith Hammond is the lead guitar player who will be performing at Blues Alley with me. Tim Steele, the mighty man of steel, phenomenal drummer. You know, they're very well respected, but he's a part of the project. Marcus Young, he plays keys. He is a phenomenal keyboardist. He sings. Just all of these guys are multi-talented. Day Day, I think he's tuned in, but he is a phenomenal singer, and he will be joining me. And last but not least, my daughter, Kashmir Thomas, is going to be performing with me. And I'm really, really excited about that opportunity because I used to perform it with my dad as the bio reads.
Right.
And that was just so, I mean, I just got so much joy out of performing with my dad, and he's no longer with us anymore. But I still have that same connection when I'm performing with my daughter. I just feel like a connection that it's like a bond that we have. So I'm really looking forward to this.
That is special. Now, is your daughter, does she play an instrument or is she a singer?
She sings.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she sings, and she sang with me before. So we get to come together again, and that's the great part about the project is being able to perform with her. So,
see, as a mother too, and being an artist, I wanted my kids to be able to sing. My daughter can't hold a note.
Really?
Oh my goodness! And if you're watching, sorry, baby girl, but it's so true. I'm like, she is tone deaf. I'm like, you can't hear that.
See, I wanted my daughter to play bass, and she wasn't feeling it. She wasn't feeling the bass. She wasn't feeling the bass at all. I was like, come on, you can sub for me when I'm, missing gigs. And she was like, nah, I'm not feeling it. So.
Oh my goodness.
So I did get her to sing, and she gives it her all. So I'm really, really excited about the opportunity to perform with her.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but yeah, we're both really excited about it.
So now let's talk about the project too. So you're collabing with some of DC's heavy hitters, and not surprisingly because especially with you being with such a very well known and super talented band that you're always in contact with a lot of musicians. So I'm sure it wasn't hard to get people to join you. It
wasn't, and that's a beautiful blessing that I just reached out and they were just willing, and I thank them. We had our first rehearsal this past Tuesday, and I really just expressed to them how I really appreciated them for agreeing to do this with me. It means a whole lot. And I'm really excited about it. I'm grateful that I've been able to be in the limelight, to meet so many stellar musicians. People have hit me up and want to work with me on some music, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity, and just looking forward to what's to come in the future.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, what was the motivation behind the project? Why now? Out of with all the years that you've had in performing music, what was it about this particular time frame that made you want to do this project?
Well, interesting enough, I have always pull bands together. I've always had a band before Belladonna. I started a band called the Quiet Storm Band. So I started that band in 2009. I've always been famous for doing my own productions. So it just so happened Belladonna and my band kind of happened at the same time. And it was so unexpected. So actually, what happened was I kind of got pulled away from my own project because when I got the call to be in Belladonna, and I really want to talk about that as well. I know that's later on in the interview. But
we can do it whenever you're ready.
Okay. When I got the call to be in Belladonna, I had just finished doing a big production for my own band back in 2009. And actually, I want to back up a little bit because prior to that, I used to perform a lot at the fish market.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you've been to the fish market before, right? Everybody goes to the fish market. So I used to go up there with my bass, and I would always play and sing with the guys, Walter Cosby, Stan Cooper, all of those guys, Junie. Rick was on drums at that time. I would always go up there and just play and sing, and, I didn't really know anybody on the music circuit. I would just, just go up there and do what I want because that passion was there for me to do it. And I just was like, I can't, I just wanted to sing. I wanted to play. And they always welcomed me up there. And every time I would go up there, someone would say, you remind me of Belladonna. I'm like, who is Belladonna? I didn't even know who Belladonna was at that time. Belladonna had just recently formed as well. And so because it kept happening, I was like, I got to go see who Belladonna is because these people are putting me with, these people, and I don't even know who they are. So I think I asked a couple of the guys in the band at the house, in the house band. I was like, well, who's Belladonna? And they was like, that's, Sweet Cherie's group. And I went to a gig that they did at WOW back in 2009, and they were phenomenal. I was like, wow, these ladies are just hot. I was a fan immediately. I was a fan of these young ladies because I've just never seen so many talented group of ladies in one room together, and just their sound was just, amazing. So I introduced myself to the bass player, gave her my number, and from there I started subbing. And I was still doing my project. And the gigs were few and far in between, so it kind of worked. But the opportunity came for me to be full-time with Belladonna, and that really, at that time, we were just gigging heavily, and I just had to, unfortunately, put my project to the side. And there was always a level of guilt by me doing that because I'm like, wow, I kind of, let my people down. I was really on to something. I was getting booked for a lot of private shows. But then on the other hand, I was with this amazing band, and things just started happening. I mean, right after I got in the band, we started doing we got booked for the Black Girls Rock Tour with Beverly Bond and back Erykah Badu and all these national artists. So I just decided that that opportunity was for me to learn, to grow in my craft, and it was a very humbling experience, and it really taught me a lot. And I never thought in a million years that I would be performing at the level that I have been able to perform at. So it just totally caught me by surprise. But I have, just hung in there with it. I worked hard, and just grateful for the opportunity. Grateful for the opportunity.
Well, good thing that it's a blessing that you followed your heart. Because a lot of times, we have a tendency to think too much.
Oh yeah.
And you said that you felt guilty, but all things happen in time when they're supposed to. So, fortunately, you were able to follow your instinct, and then it led you to all these great opportunities. You were able to meet a lot of amazing artists, people that you will probably. What I'm learning, you might not necessarily know the significance of them in your life at the time you met them. But true. Even looking forward down the line, you just, when it all comes full circle. So, there are no mistakes. So, again, kudos to you, because sometimes people have a tendency to take the safe route because they're afraid to step out,
Sure. Oh, yeah. And I was, it's very fearful being able to, you have to really have the courage to step out and say, I believe in yourself, and it's hard, it's hard. But, I just feel like the way opportunities happen for me performing wise. It's just you have to be open. You have to believe in yourself, and I can tell you now that and this came up in another interview that I did, and I'm not ashamed of it, but at the time where we got booked to do the Beverly Bond Black Girls Rock Tour, and it came so quick. And I told the music director, I said, I'm not ready for this. You got to find somebody else. And she said, yes, you are. So she believed in me at that time. And I was like, y'all need to get somebody else because I can't back an artist like that, And she was like, yes, you can. So you're right. You have to believe in yourself. And I was like, these people are depending on me. So I have to push myself. I have to push. I have to work hard. I have to work harder because it didn't come easy for me, So I'm grateful that I've been in situations where I was able to push harder, appreciate, the growth. And just from how I started to where I am now, it's just, I look back and like, where did the time go so quickly? Because it just, 9 years just went by just like that. So when you asked about like now being the time, it actually started January earlier this year. I think it actually happened. Someone called me and booked me to do a private gig. Actually, someone that I actually did a gig for about 10 years ago. And I did a private party at his house, and he called me in January, and I was like, I need you to, do a show for me. And that was, to me, my sign that it's time to start your project back up, because I will procrastinate and just, keep putting it off. And at that moment, I pulled the band together. We did it. And then I got another call. I mean, so I feel like I wasn't even really like, oh, I got to pull my band together. I got to pull my band together. I just feel like the opportunity, I received the phone call, and I'm always up for a challenge. So I made it happen. And then I got another phone call in September to do the same thing for someone else referred me to do a private gig. And from there, I just really had that whatever inside of me saying, you have to continue this. You have to continue what you started, you know, because, you know, we all have our own visions. We all have our own dreams. And Belladonna that was like an unexpected opportunity that came up that, you know, I wasn't going to say no to, because it really prepared me to do everything that I'm doing now. But I still had my own vision of kind of what I wanted to do musically. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. It's like even what I started off doing, I'm kind of doing the same thing now with my project, my vision for music. So
you are still performing with Belladonna as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, we have 2 shows tonight.
So you got to skate out of here and get ready.
I got to skate out of here and get to Rockville by 8 o'clock, and then we are at Aqua Lounge at midnight. So.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, I like being busy. I love being busy, so it works.
So in line with being busy, so you and I listened to another interview that you had done. So for those of you that are watching, I listened to a previous interview and thought about some questions. So one of the things you had mentioned, you talked about in terms of, you know, having a full-time career in addition to the music.
Yes.
And so let's talk a little bit about the balance between, you know, family, the music, your career. Because sometimes people have a tendency, you know, to think that it's just not enough time for me to pursue my dream because I've got all these other things to do, they're not really distractions, but, you know, because we have to work if we're not fortunate enough to do what we love to do full time. So let's kind of speak to that, to those that are watching. How is it that you balance all of these different things and still manage to get your project on the ground?
Wow. I think what helps me is that I don't have small kids. You know, my daughter's grown, so that kind of helps. I don't have to do homework, and you know, some of the young ladies in the band do have small kids, so they have to really. So I just have myself to fend for. As far as my full-time job, I'm grateful that I have a job where everybody knows I perform. Most of them are coming to my Blues Alley show on January the 3rd. So I have the flexibility there at work, the support at work as well. And for me, I just make it work. In addition to Belladonna, as the bio reads, I was in the Gospel Persuaders for about 9 years as well. And so I had to juggle their rehearsals, Belladonna's rehearsals, and I'm the bassist at Hillcrest Baptist Church on Sundays 1st and 3rd and 5th. So we're talking about rehearsals, gigging, you know, so it just requires, and so far it's worked. I mean, sometimes there's conflicts, but it really takes planning your schedule, and just making sure that you are clear on exactly what you have to do, when you have to do it. And because I've been doing it so long, I kind of know, okay, this rehearsal is on Tuesdays, this rehearsal, okay, I have to be here on Wednesday. So it really takes focus. And I think initially when I first started doing it, it was like, wow, you know, but now it's like getting up, brushing your teeth. Okay, Monday I have to do this, Tuesday I have to do this, Wednesday I have to do this. So it's really planning and scheduling. And when you have a passion to do something, the drive to do it, you are going to figure it out, you know. And sometimes we did Maryland Live this past Tuesday, and I got home at midnight. And I'm up at, 8 o'clock trying to get ready to work, go to work. So when you love what you do, you push, you don't make excuses. And that's definitely a takeaway from Belladonna, not to make excuses for anything, and you just got to push for success, and believing in yourself. I think those are the biggest takeaways, believing in myself, because I would have never guessed in a million years that I would have been capable of doing some of the things that I've been able to do.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to take a break and show we're gonna watch the video. Can we do the video? We're gonna take a quick break, watch a portion of a clip of you performing with your group, and when we come back with questions, I want to kind of touch on the as far as the dynamic of the band. And you talked about rehearsals, and one of the things for those that are are trying to put their projects together, not the music project, the CD, but in terms of the band, there's this whole mentality about people not wanting to rehearse.
Yeah, no, that's the true thing.
So I want to talk about that when we come back from the break. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you so much, Yolanda and Myron, for having us. We are the Storm Unleashed Project, and I'm featuring all of these amazing musicians that you will hear in a few minutes. So grateful to be here to celebrate this wonderful occasion. It's been a long time coming. on sax, Leroy Scooter Taylor on keys, and Tim Steele on drums.
The Storm Unleashed Project, y'all. So before we went on break and saw the video, we were talking about the dynamic of the band, and I just wanted to get maybe some insight or maybe some advice from you in terms of the buy-in, in terms of, you know, putting together a group of musicians that believe in you enough to want to rehearse, because rehearsal is also very important, and it just seems like, you know, the mentality of the band has changed so much. You know, it's, you know, I understand that, you know, musicians that are out here working with different bands, it's, you know, they got to make their money, because there are a lot of musicians that are full-time musicians. Mm-hmm. So we're talking their bread and butter, and I definitely get it. And then you have musicians that only want to rehearse when it comes to a paying gig. Mm. And it's unfortunate because, you know, it's kind of a toss-up. Sometimes, you know, you don't need a lot of rehearsal and it works. Mm-hmm. It works. Right. But then sometimes you don't have a lot of rehearsals and it shows. Yes. So, but that's a risk I'm not always willing to take. Well, never willing to take. But again, you got to do what you got to do. Right. So how have you managed to get the support needed to get your project, your group together, people that are committed to the Storms Unleashed project? Okay.
I want to go back for a second, mm-hmm. because I've done it both ways. Okay. When I initially started my band, we were a band. Mm-hmm. So we rehearsed like every Monday, Wednesday, whatever it was, and no one had a problem with it. It was a new project. Mm-hmm. We were rehearsing for my show that I was doing in September of that same year. So we started rehearsing, I want to say January and February, and we rehearsed every week unless like someone couldn't do it. And everybody was just really committed. Mm-hmm. But I think the difference was back then is that most of the musicians all had full-time jobs like me, so nobody was really like, you know, a full-time musician, and, you know, they were just eager. It was something new, and I had no problems getting people to come. I had a few issues with people coming to rehearsals, but for the most part, everyone came, mm-hmm. and if they did not come, or if they had an issue with it, I would deal with it, and that may have meaning replacing someone or whatever, but I had to deal with it because that's just the reality of, you know, life. Sometimes mm-hmm. people just don't want to rehearse. Right. So it was a lot easier. This time around, the situation is a little different with the Storm Unleashed project. Most of these guys in this that I picked to do this are full-time musicians. Mm-hmm. So it's a little different when you are all of them play with, you know, well-established other artists. They're very busy. So I hired them. They're not my band. Mm-hmm. I hired them individually mm-hmm. to help me with this, mm-hmm. and I paid them mm-hmm. to come to rehearsal. Mm-hmm. So I think that I think as an artist, you have to invest in what you're doing, and you have to believe in yourself. Me being an artist, if someone, you know, emails me and asks me about a show and I don't know them, you know, and sometimes the gig may not be enough to cover the rehearsal, you know. Depending on what it is, I may or may not do it, but I think people who are full-time musicians, they deserve to be treated as such, right. You know, and I'm not a full-time musician, but if someone calls me to do a show and I don't know them, mm-hmm. I want to make sure that I'm going to be compensated for my rehearsal time, mm-hmm. because if I have to spend, you know, time preparing for your show mm-hmm. and 2 hours at your rehearsral, I'm burning gas. So I think that's just, you know, you have to treat people the way you want to be treated. Absolutely. And so I didn't have any problems with, you know, either time. I know the first time we did not rehearse at all. It just didn't work out for us to do so, and it wasn't necessary. But I didn't have any problems at all. I think you have to just be organized. You have to know what you want to do mm-hmm. and be clear. And I try to give clear instructions and not leave anything in the, you know, open about what we're going to do. And just when I reach out to people, I'm very clear. This is, you know, what the gig pays. Mm-hmm. This is, what I'm going to pay you for rehearsal. Can you commit to these dates? I scheduled the rehearsals in advance. So it wasn't a whole lot of last minute stuff because, see, when you're dealing with musicians, you have to make sure you plan in advance because everybody has a schedule that they're going by. Everybody's doing multiple things. So, you kind of have to just, and I just deal with people. I dealt with them the same way I would have wanted someone to deal with me. And I think that's why it worked. Give me all the information. I had someone recently email me, a long, lengthy email. She was doing a female band project and she needed a female, she wanted a female band, never mentioned anything about pay until the end. It was a long email. Then at the end, I don't have a whole lot of money.
Oh my goodness.
But I need you to do, I need you to have how many rehearsals it was. And no, it was like no, because just no. Because, I mean, we as artists, we don't like our time wasted.
Right.
So don't send me an email that's going to be, I have to spend 5-10 minutes reading your email before I get to the bottom and it tells me that I don't have money to pay you.
Right.
Because I'm not going to do that. So
in fact, you owe me for me reading this.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? I was like, no, this is not going to work for me. So I think you have to treat it as a craft and treat people with respect. And, and then it'll come back to you. I mean, so I know just, I picked some amazing, humble, as talented and creative musicians and singers as they are. They're very humble and they are just really, really excited about the project as well. And it's nice to have people that want to support you.
Yes.
And I've been blessed as, people really, really showing support for what I'm doing. And I really appreciate it. It's really been a great opportunity.
That's cool. Before we go any further, for those of you that may want to call in, if you have a question for Storm, the number is listed on the bottom of the screen. For those on Facebook Live, again, hello. If you want to call in at 202-746-4180 and ask a question, you are welcome to do so. Again, that's 202-746-4180. We have very few short minutes, but you can still call in with a question. So now, in terms of your upcoming Blues Alley performance, so I know you've got some surprises. We got your daughter coming. You've got some special guests lined up. What else can those of us that will be there front and center in the audience, in front of you in the audience? What can we expect to experience?
Wow, that's a very good question. Well, it's going to be a great experience. They're going to get to see me in a whole different setting. Again, people are used to seeing me, belladonna, dropping the slides and doing what we do and kind of, having people dancing and partying. And that's what people are used to seeing me do. So what they're going to see at the Blues Alley show, they're going to see me with the ensemble that I hired. We're going to be doing smooth jazz, R&B, soul, little funk. And we have something in our show for everyone. And that's what makes it so exciting. Also, I will say this. I'm going to be doing musical tributes to 3 iconic artists that really influenced my musical career. And they are James Brown, Michael Jackson, and Prince.
All right.
And I'm really, really excited about that. So they are going to see me in a total different light. And they got to, get their tickets to see it. If you want to, a lot of people see me and they're like, oh, I didn't know you sing. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. You got to come and support. You got to come and see what I'm doing.
Right.
Because this is what I'm doing. And like the bio says, it's my artistic statement of my vision of what I wanted to do back in 2009 with my own project. And it just got, sidetracked, Okay. So it's going to be a dynamic show, great musicians that I'm going to be featuring. All of them are extremely talented. And like I said, there's something in there for everyone. I made sure of that.
Okay. You had also mentioned on Facebook that you were going to offer an opportunity for folks to win tickets.
Yes. I'm still coordinating. I think I just got a call from the event manager at Blues Alley about that. But if you are interested, I'm going to be giving away free tickets to the 10 p.m. show. If you are interested in getting free tickets to the show, please either call in or inbox me your name, your first and last name on my messenger page on Facebook. and I will give you the details.
And your messenger
The
page.
first, I'm giving away 6 tickets, so it'll be 2 and 2. So if you inbox me, the first 3 people, will get 2 tickets.
Okay.
To the 10 p.m. show.
So
either
and
inbox or
through
call.
Messenger, how do they contact you on Facebook?
Yeah, just Tempest Storm Thomas on Facebook, and on the Messenger app. I do have the Messenger app loaded on my phone. Just inbox me, and the first 3 people, I will give them free tickets to the 10 p.m. show.
You guys watching Facebook Live, you heard it here. So let's win some tickets.
Yeah.
And final question before we get all the information on how to stay connected with you. What is it that you want your audience or your fans to know about you?
What is it that I want them to know that I'm more than a bass player. A lot of people know me because I play bass, and I'm much more than a bass player. I don't like to limit myself in a pigeonhole. I want to do it all. So even though I play bass, I'm going to sing. I'm going to promote my shows. I'm going to do more productions. I'm going to do original music. So I'm going to do, I think life is short, and you kind of have to live for the moment. And, again, like I said, I am terrible at procrastinating, but 2018, I'm going to come hard with accomplishing the goals that I have set for myself. So I just want them to know that, again, come to Blues Alley on January the 3rd, 8 p.m. 10 p.m. shows. I'm doing 2 shows. They're going to be dynamic. You got to come and see, support it. We always talk about support Black entrepreneurship, and this is an opportunity to do so. I try to support whenever I can, and I hope that people support me as well. But so far, I've been blessed to be able to have some great support.
Absolutely. And I like what you said about in terms of you're going to be doing more shows, promoting and doing that kind of thing. It's important, and that was one of the things I heard in your interview. But I'm a firm believer in creating your own opportunities. Because you just cannot wait for people to create opportunities for you. You can't sit by the phone and expect it to ring or wait for it to ring.
No.
So
you cannot.
So kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah. I don't believe in accepting no for an answer. So I'm going to create my own lane and do what I do.
Okay.
And I'm a firm believer in that. And, you have to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to believe in you?
Right.
Right. So.
Okay. So again, you heard it here live and in color. I am excited. I'm going to, my work schedule is so crazy, but I'm definitely going to try to get away and come and support the 10 o'clock show.
Awesome.
Yes, I am looking forward to seeing you. I'm excited. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to meet you. And again, shout out to Kevin Prince, thank you for connecting us. Yes. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin.
So before we end the show, how do people stay connected to you?
People can stay connected to me right now on social media. My website is under construction at this present time. Tempest Storm Thomas on Facebook. Instagram, you can find me at I Am The Storm on bass. So those are the best way to, the best sources to catch up with me right now. Also, can I do some shout-outs? You can. Okay. I want to shout out my daughter, Cashmere Thomas. I think she's live. Hi, Cashmere.
Hey, Cashmere.
I want to shout out to Belladonna. Hey, Belladonna. I want to shout out to my BFF, Yelita O'Neill, who has been very, very supportive of me during this time period of just making sure that I have what I need when I need it and thinking when I can't think for myself. So thank you, Yelita.
All right.
And Belinda Pugh also. Thank you for being a great friend and being supportive. I hope I didn't miss anybody. And the Storm Unleashed Project. Thank y'all.
Yes, thank you. Now for the Set Your Mind, Set Your Week, this is going to be the last one of the year because because I'll be getting ready for the new year next Saturday. So
amazing.
Yes. So in terms of the Set Your Mind, Set Your Week is the motivational quote that I find, and I try to, align it with what we talk about on the show. And since this is the last show, I found something that was interesting. So New Year's Day, a fresh start, a new chapter in life waiting to be written. It's not only moving that creates new starting points. Sometimes all it takes is a subtle shift in perspective, an opening of the mind, an intentional pause and reset, or a new route to start to see new options and new possibilities. So again, a lot of times people, this is the end of the year and this is a way to start fresh, start anew. My girlfriend Joy is watching. Hey, Joy. Thank you, Joy. Thank you so much. And she said, and I think it's pretty cool. Instead of starting fresh and new for the new year, she restarts or recharges on her birthday.
Wow.
So since it's about a week for me, I'll start a week early. So, in my mind, I'm mentally preparing and trying to figure out what I definitely want to accomplish for this upcoming year.
Amazing.
2018.
Yeah, it's definitely a time for reflection.
Yes, it is. So you guys that are watching, get out there and, just take little steps towards the main goal. Make those phone calls, make those connections, show up.
Yes.
As you heard from Storm, she started, got back in, or, she got connected with Belladonna because she showed up at the fish market and, did some sets with the band and, got out there and started networking. And sometimes it starts with that. So get out there and do something different. Be fearless.
Yes.
Just
believe in yourself.
Yes, and believe in yourself. All right. So again, I thank you guys. I thank you for watching this year. 2018, we've got some great things in store, some great guests in store, some changes that will be made with the show, but we'll have to share that a little later. So I am very excited about the upcoming year. I'm excited about you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. I'm excited too. I'm just really honored that you had me on your show.
Thank you.
I thank you and Kevin as well for hooking me up with you.
Yes, thank you.
So much.
We will see you guys and make sure you stay connected. Be safe. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys in 2018. Bye.
One love.